Hey guys, how's it going? This is Khan, Mr. So Real, and welcome to another state of the game for the division for August the 24th, 2017. Now, in this state of the game, we're going to look at what the key points were. There are two videos that I put into this video of them explaining some of the things that were going on. Number one, they're going to talk about the global events leaderboards. They're going to be talking about the masks. They're going to be talking about the fact that you may get a mask if you didn't have one or if you didn't receive one. And they may talk about you may be getting a second mask or even a third mask if you hit the right percentage because they really screwed up. So we're going to go over that, and then also there is a little bit of talk on the next global event, what that's going to be like, and kind of spoiler, there is no ETA for it, but they are going to talk about what it will be about and how it will play out. So if you're interested in that, then please stick around, and then I'll go over some of the other things that won't have videos in it, but that they did kind of slightly discuss or just kind of briefly go over. So why don't we get started in this week's state of the game for the division. Let's go. All right, so why don't we get started and talk about the first thing, which is the leaderboards, and get into that and give you guys either some of the good news and some of the kind of questionable decisions that they're making in terms of how these leaderboards were set up. So we'll just let this get started, and then you can watch this, and then we'll get into the next bit. So this is going to be about the leaderboards and the masks and the possible good news if you didn't get any masks at all.
What have you done with leaderboards?
No, so I mean, this is obviously the big feedback we've had from the first global event, which was just, like the way we were awarding the mask. We put so much emphasis on the mask with the trailer, and then
Yeah, of course, because it's cool.
because it's cool.
Yeah.
And then the global event comes out, and everything is on leaderboards, and the leaderboard system is very confusing, and even ourselves got confused with the way it works.
Yeah.
Which means that, yeah, this was definitely a far from an optimal situation. And yeah, we know that. We've seen a lot of discussion, a lot of complaints about it, and we fully agree with everything you guys said. Like, it was a confusing system to the point where even we got confused.
Yeah.
So what happened is that we communicated on percentages based on the leaderboards, and we said, okay, the top 10% is going to get, the tier 3 rewards, and then I can't remember what were the initial percentages. We had like 50%, the top 50% would get the tier 1, which was the lowest reward. But then we changed that on Monday to make it the top 85% would get the tier 1 reward. Then the top, 30% would get the tier 2, and top 10% would get the tier 3.
But that wasn't the whole math.
But that wasn't the whole math, and that's where we failed. And sorry about that, guys. We
And when
screwed
it says
up.
it's not the whole math, it was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The end result is that when we said 10%, we said it would be 10% of the population, 85% would be 85%. Completely wrong. That was completely wrong, and that's on us. So what we're going to do is basically we're going to take the list of all the players that participated in the global event, look at the leaderboards, and actually apply the percentages the way we said they would apply, which is 10% is 10% of the whole population, not 10% of this ranking thing. Yeah. 85 is 85% of the whole population, and we are going to grant the mask manually to all the players that didn't get the correct mask.
Yes.
What that means is that 85% of the people that actually were in the leaderboards will be getting the tier 1 reward. 30% of the people that were in the leaderboards, the top 30% will get the tier 2 reward, and the top 10% will get the tier 3. So you may be getting more masks, or you will receive more masks than what you had received when the global event ended. And when is that going to happen? We don't know yet. It's going to take a few days because we need to dump all the data and prepare everything. But that's going to be done. We will let you know when it happens.
Yep.
And it will be in the reward calendar, like in the past.
So with that being said, if you didn't get a mask, you may be in luck, and there may be a mask coming your way. And then again, if you only got one, you might be getting a second mask. Fingers crossed, we'll see how all of that goes. If you guys do get a mask, remember to leave a comment in the comment section and let me know what you guys picked up, or if you were lucky enough to get something. That would be pretty cool to find out, just so that we know if people actually are receiving these things or not, because we all know sometimes these developers like to say things and not necessarily deliver on them. But other things that were talked about in the state of the game that I won't be posting video for, one of them is that the classified gear sets are now in the loot pool. So if you did not get any of the classified gear sets, there are ways that you can get them now, but they're going to be ultra grindy and probably very, very unrewarding. So the first way is that classified gear sets will be in caches now. You will be able to find them in caches at a whopping 1%. So that means that you could open 100 caches and maybe, just possibly, get one. Or you could be super lucky and open 10 and maybe you'll get 3. But yeah, I don't know anybody who's that lucky. If you are that lucky, you should be playing the lottery. And be sure to donate some of that money to me, because I could use it. And then the next way that you can get classified caches, classified gear sets, I should say, is that you can get them from bosses, named bosses in the dark zone and in the light zone in the regular open world area, and they drop at a staggering 3%. So you could farm a bunch of those bosses and hopefully get something. Yesterday I went on a little bit of a farming run. I didn't get jack. So just so you know, and if you are lucky enough to get some in the open world, let me know. I am curious to know who's getting anything out of the open world stuff, because again, they say these numbers, and when you put them at like 1% and 3%, it's kind of hard to believe that the stuff is even in there, but whatever. So the next thing that they talked about in the state of the game were the rarest commendations, and there are some pretty rare ones with, you know, people. It's like even in the single digits of people that have completed them, and some in most of them in the double digits. And yeah, there's some really rare ones. The majority of them have been the flawless incursion type stuff. So if you do have those, salutes to you. You are a serious player, and you got a really good group that you run with. And you definitely should not be in the running with random series where we clown people for just being completely useless. You probably be carrying most of us. So the other things that they talked about, the bolt action bug, still there's no news on a fix, but they are well aware of it. The commendation where you have to get a gray item, they also talked about that. Basic fix for that is if you have an empty slot, if you don't have 4 characters, you can get one of the gray items, put it in your stash, and then make one of your other characters take it, and then you should get that commendation. If you don't have that, then maybe one of your buddies maybe has an empty slot, and make a new one, and then he can share it, but you would have to be in the group with that person to do so. So that is pretty much it for some of the other things that they talked about. Nothing really super amazing. So why don't we get into the last bit, and then we'll wrap it up for this week's State of the Game. And this is on the news for the next global event, which is called Assault.
So the next global event that we're going to do is going to be Assault, which was the second one that was tested on the PTS. We don't have an ETA yet when it's going to happen, because first we want to address the mask issue. So the mask issue with this global event and grant it. But also we want to, basically, as I said, we want to change the system. So we will not do a global event until the system is changed and we have a better one in place. But yeah, we don't have an ETA yet when that's going to happen. But it's going to be something that happens before 1.8. So you're not going to have to wait until 1.8 comes out for the next global event. But it's probably still going to take a bit longer than what we had planned. So yeah, there will not be a global event until we have fixed this system. But yeah, when Assault comes out, it's going to be the next global event, and it will have a way better, hopefully a way better system for mask. Assault is about distance. So that's the one where you do more damage when you're, what is it, less than 30 meters? I can't remember. But when you're close to the enemy, you do more damage. When you're far from the enemy, you take more damage. So it's basically a whole, a range gameplay where you have to.
Exactly. It's flipping the way that people would have played Outbreak. So grab a shotgun or an SMG, I guess.
But it's going to be the same system
Yeah.
where you have a global modifier that applies to everything that makes it easier, and then you have activity modifiers that you can pick that make it a bit more challenging, and the group one.
All right, guys, that is it for this week's State of the Game coverage for the division. I hope you guys found some useful information from this video. I know that the State of the Games aren't always as exciting or packed with information that a lot of people want, but it is what it is, and I'm trying my best to at least give you a sample of it so that you know. Don't hate on me because the news sucks. I'm not in charge of that. But I hope that you did enjoy the video, and if you did, remember to hit that like button, and if you are new, remember to maybe subscribe. Maybe hit that little bell for notifications so you know when the next video goes out or when the next live stream is out there for you to enjoy with us. So until the next one, I'm Con Mr. So Real. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. See you for next week, for this week's vendor reset tomorrow. Something happened last week. I don't know what happened, but it screwed everything up and people didn't get the notifications or got them late. Be sure to hit that bell. It will help out, and I will definitely have the vendor reset be top quality as it always is. So until tomorrow or until the live stream later on today, I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. Peace.
Huh.